Hey girly girls and boysy boys, it's your girl P Hope and I am back with another video. This is, oh, is it getting ready to rain? Okay, we're gonna make this quick. This is Ready to Love season 4 episode. I'll drop it in the title because we know at this point I'm so ghetto, I don't know. Bruh. I do apologize for not putting out last week's episode. I actually have it halfway recorded, but the last half, y'all, I got hungry. I made me a bowl of cereal, and when I say it knocked me out, that's all I needed was something to eat and some sleep, because I've been working 12 hours every day last week, so your girl was done. So yeah, that's why I'm telling y'all, I need y'all to hit this like, I need y'all to subscribe, I need y'all to comment in the comment section, even if you ain't doing nothing but coming by to say hey girl, hey, because your girl be putting in work at the day job, and it hinders me from being on time with these damn reviews and the vlogs and all of this other content that I want to put out on my channel. So yeah, that's what I had going on. But nevertheless, I understand this is my channel, my brand, I gotta build it, so I'm just gonna have to step my cookie up and make things happen. But nevertheless, we're here with this week's episode. Okay, so as y'all know, last week's episode ended with AJ holding Kyra's hand and saying that, you know, he didn't want to let it go, but at the same time, she's not ready to love. And so he's still saying that, you know, she's not ready to love. And she was like, okay, well, can I have my hand back? And he was just like, you know, I'm not sure that I'm ready to let it go. He says that, you know, something about that moment was just telling him that he hasn't seen everything that he wants to see out of Kyra. And so with that being said, he's taking it back. He is Indian giving his choice, and he says that she is ready to love, and if she would like to stay, he would like for her to stay. And she said, yeah, I would love to stay. And so AJ just lets us know, well, of course, now that I've chosen Kyra to stay, this means that me and Alexis have to have a conversation. So AJ ends up meeting Alexis by the pool, and soon as Alexis sat down, she was like, I don't really know how to feel about this. You know, you called me out here. I don't really know which way this is about to go. And of course, you know, he sticks his hand out for her to grab his hand, and she's like, okay, here we go with this charm school shit. Like, you know, this is the thing that always calms me down about AJ. So now, you know, she's feeling better about the meeting. And this is the part, the clip that we have seen 55 times on the commercial, where he was saying that, you know, I feel like you are somebody that will be in my life for a very long time to come, but at the same time, I don't feel like you're ready to love. Whoa. And you know, soon as he said that, Alexis was like, well, yeah, I'm definitely ready to love. It's just that you weren't ready to love me, which is true. I don't feel like Alexis is one of those people that was there playing a game and that she's not ready to love. I very much think that she's ready to love, but it's just that in this stage of the game, like, somebody's got to go home, and it just ended up being Alexis. So the rebuttal was, Alexis says that she's walking away with her head up, and she's definitely ready to love herself more, so that God will grant her the man that she's been looking for. And that's pretty much the end of that. You know, Alexis left. She said it was no hard feelings. She was definitely very emotional in her confessional, but at the same time, she understands the process, and if AJ is going with somebody else, then he's going with somebody else. She can't really do nothing about that. Now we are ready to start the show as normal. So this week, ladies meet up in the ladies lounge. Okay, Liz is trying to figure out why the hell Kyra ass is still here. What is she doing here? Why is she here? That's what the hell Liz wants to know. So this week's exercise from Tommy is for all of them to go on their last one-on-one date with their person. And the part that he wants them to do in this exercise is get past the thought of being in a relationship with this person and really transition into being a couple. Okay, that is this week's exercise. As they're going around the table just kind of talking about what's been going on and some of the things that happened at the ranch getaway, Kyra tells everybody about the conversation that her and AJ had and why she was able to stay. But she says that she still has Jason in the running, even though, AJ really threw himself out there and chose her. She's still not really settled on him. She still wants to know what's up with Jason. It doesn't mean just because AJ picked me, I'm gonna pick AJ. Like, I still want to know what's up with Jason. And so at this point, it has Liz feeling some type of way. Liz says that she's definitely not second fiddle, and she feels like what her and Jason have is solid, So, regardless of whatever Kyra got going on with her feelings towards Jason, it has nothing to do with her. So that just is what it is. Now we get into these last one-on-one dates. Joelle heads over to Venetia's house. Venetia lets him in, and she's got her little living room, dining room laid out for him. She got rose petals on the dining room table. She done made a real cute, it looked like it might have been like a pasta lunch or something like that. But anyway, it looked like it could have been an Italian dish, and and they also had some wine. And they were just sitting there making small talk basically about the ranch getaway. And so she asked him how did he actually feel about the getaway, and he said that he feels good about it. And they agree that the situation that happened with him choosing Kyra was just a situation that let both of them know that at least when they have disagreements, they are able to overcome it, and they can get over the small stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, oh my God, when we disagree, that's it. Then Venetia says, okay, well, so now that we know that, where do you want to go from here? And he said that he would love to continue the process, and he just wants to see what their relationship can flourish into. And Joelle says he's in it to win it, and he wants to take it all the way. And I was happy to hear that. I was very happy to hear that, because we all know that Joelle and Venetia have been thick as thieves since pretty much day one. You know what I'm saying? When they locked eyes on each other, and when she heard that New Orleans accent, it was just a wrap for them two. You know what I'm saying? She had hips and ass for days, and he couldn't keep his eyes off of it. And just the accent just took her to a place that she's already been, because y'all remember that her ex is actually from New Orleans as well, and he has that thick accent also. So, it was familiarity to Venetia, but, Joelle is also a gentleman as well. So, I'm happy for Joelle and Venetia. Let's see. Jason and Liz meet up at a restaurant. He tells Liz that he is very happy about the decision that he made. You know what I'm saying? It came down between Liz and Kyra, and his mind is 100% riding with Liz. You know what I'm saying? So Liz brings up the conversation that Kyra and Jason had at the ranch, because Kyra had brought that up at the ladies lounge. So Liz brought it to Jason, and she wanted to know, what would your decision have been if Kyra would have picked you? And he said, I still would have picked you, because Jason's thing is, he's all about a made-up mind. You know what I'm saying? He wants that security and assurity that you know what you want. And so, you know, he's irritated with Kyra in that aspect, that she's still talking about some, yeah, I'm feeling you, but I'm still looking at AJ. I like you, but I'm not sure if I like AJ a little more. I have an attraction towards you, but I also have an attraction towards AJ. So I just really don't know. You know, she's really, really indecisive. And that's okay, because I do feel like she's being honest with AJ and Jason about her indecisiveness. But I do also understand Jason when he's saying, like, at this point, that shit is irritating. Like, you need to know which one of us men has more qualities than the other. You should be leaning more towards one than the other at this stage of the game. Like, I totally agree with Jason in that aspect. Like, one of them gotta have more going on for you than the other. Like, it's just no way around that. You know what you want more. And as we go on down in this review, we'll get to that. So, okay, where was I at? So, let's see. Yeah, he said that he would have still ended up picking Liz. And so, that's kind of where the conversation paused at, because Jason said, do you mind if I excuse myself for a minute? And the way that he said it, it just kind of left her at the table looking like, well, did I offend him? Did I say something wrong? Did I do something wrong? But when he came back, he had a flower in his hand. And she was like, oh, you got me a flower. And she was reaching out for it. And he was like, no, wait a minute. This flower actually has a story behind it. And he said that in his lifetime, he has only given out a white rose to 2 women in his life. The first one is his mother, and the second one is his stepmother. And he would like for Liz to be the 3rd woman that he gives a white rose to, because for him, a white rose represents purity. And he says when he thinks about Liz and when he's with Liz, that's what she represents. She's pure, she's honest, he can see her heart, and you know, she's just a real respectful, stand-up kind of woman. And she is the type of woman that he is trying to find in life. So yeah, that's what the rose represented for Jason, and it just completely sent Liz to tears. So, you know, Liz is crying, and he was like, yes, those tears that Liz is expressing to me lets me know that she's not in it for the wrong reason. This is not a game for her. Like, you know, these are real feelings involved, as well as for me. So, you know, this is confirmation that I made the right decision. So, you know, at this point, it's just like Liz and Jason are on cloud 9, and, you know, she got her little white rose, and I'm pretty sure that she is going to find some kind of way to preserve that damn rose, because the meaning behind it, it really, you know, it was very sentimental, and I thought it was sweet. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, my sensitive ass, my eyes got a little watery too, like he was talking to me, even though I knew he wasn't. It's okay. Our next couple was Chris and Amber. They end up going out to a little patio restaurant, and one of the first things that Chris said was that, you know, after that whole ranch getaway situation where Alexis coming at you about what you and Ron had going on, a lot of people confronted me after that and asked me how I felt about the situation. So, excuse me. So what I want to know is, you know, is it something still going on there? Like, do you and Ron still communicate? You know, just let me know what's up. And she was like, no, I have completely lost all contact with Ron. There was never any type of romantic connection or feeling that I had towards Ron. That was just like a one-off situation that happened. And she was like, you know, let me just go ahead and completely ease your mind and let you know that there is no number 2 for me. There is no number 3 for me. And Chris was like, woo, like, because it ain't no number 2 or 3 for me either. So I am very happy to hear that we're on the same page. And she was like, yeah, you know, most definitely. I think that when we get together, it's a very genuine vibe. Like, I enjoy you. We have good conversation and, you know, all of the above. And then they go into a conversation about, what are they talking about? Kids. I think Chris said that, you know, he would love to have 3, 4, 5 kids. You know, he's ready to pop the kids out. And Amber was like, okay. She was like, well, you know, I definitely envision myself having like 1. But, you know, we could talk about 3. 3 is negotiable. Okay, you know, we could talk about it. And then Chris also has a very deep conversation with Amber about how he really feels about her. And before he can even really start expressing the way that he feels about her, he was like, oh my God, my eyes are starting to sweat. Like, he was definitely getting teary-eyed just really thinking about the genuineness of their connection and how, you know, easygoing their connection is. And like, Amber was definitely receptive to it. It's just that Amber is nowhere near as emotional as Chris is. So like, the moment was not as the moment was not as sweet as it could have been. But that's only because Amber is a little bit hard to read. I don't know if that's the DA in her. I'm not sure if that's the DA in Amber, but you know, Amber is just, it's all I can say. She's not as emotional as most. Okay, let's just say that. So then they also go into a conversation where Chris lets her know that he is practicing semen retention right now. And she said, come again, say what? And he was like, yeah, I'm just practicing a form of abstinence right now. And she was like, so you're not having sex? And he was like, oh no, like, no. He said, you know, I just feel like sex is one of the most important things that we hold as individuals. And so with that being said, why would I just be out here giving that up to anybody? And of course, that's something that us women say all the time. Like, of course, everybody is not worthy enough to come into the palace. We all know that. But it's very rare to hear a man say it. So it threw Amber completely off. And she was like, so what you mean, like, you not having sex till what? Like marriage, or like what? And he was like, yeah, like, pretty much I want to be giving the goods to somebody that I know I'm gonna be in the long haul with. And she was like, oh, well, I'm gonna work on, you know, reversing that semen retention up out of you, because, you know, mama's gotta have it. I gotta have it. And and she was like, you know, am I not attractive to you? And he was like, yeah, you know, I be looking at your body all the time, especially when you walk off. I definitely be staring at your booty. And she was like, well, how my booty look now? And he was like, I'll let you know in a minute. So she was like, yeah, we definitely gonna work on reversing that semen retention, because yeah, we gonna have to see what's really going on downstairs. So Amber's not having it. She want to know what that ping hit like. Of course, we know that Amber is a young girl, so you know, and she has a stressful career, so she probably need that relief in her life. You know what I'm saying? She don't want to have to relieve herself all the time, especially if she got a super chocolatey, strong ass man in her face. Like, Chris, you better get it together, because we already know that Amber is a slick one, okay? So if you ain't doing it, somebody else will. I'm just saying. Next, we got AJ and Kyra meeting up at a restaurant. And pause for the cause, because this is where it really dawned on me that none of these couples are as serious as Joel and Vernisha. Like, if you've noticed, I've already spoken about Joel meeting, about Vernisha meeting at Joel's house. And now I've already talked about Joel meeting at Vernisha's house. All of these other couples always meet outside at a restaurant somewhere, at some type of event hall, at some type of entertainment center, at a freaking park. Like, none of these other people are bringing their person to their residence. And I mean, I know some of y'all will probably say, well, that's because Joel and Vernisha are moving too fast. But I just feel like, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you're really that serious about somebody, especially at this stage in the game, I feel like it's okay for y'all to come to each other's residence. Like, and you already know that this is not the type of show where the cameraman is gonna be shady. So you know what I'm saying? If you live in the projects, if you don't really live somewhere where we could be like, ooh, you know what I'm saying, the cameraman still gonna make it look, you know, he gonna hook it up, he gonna make it look right. So don't worry about where you know what I'm saying, because your partner is eventually gonna know where you live anyway. So I just feel like y'all fake. I feel like y'all is fake, because listen, even at the ranch getaway, Joel and Vernisha, they stayed in a room together. And not only that, they cuddled that whole night. And not only that, they showered in front of each other with the door open. Wow. So, because Joel was being a creep and watching Vernisha bathe. So, he's already seen this woman naked. Now, I'm not saying that the rest of y'all got to go quite that far. But I'm just saying, like, you can just tell this is a genuine connection, because Joel and Vernisha have done all of this shit that real couples actually do, and they still haven't even had sex. They still haven't even had sex. So it's like, what are the rest of y'all doing besides out here playing games? That's what y'all doing. But I'm gonna let y'all live. Let me get back to AJ and Kyra, child. So anyway, like I said, AJ and Kyra they meet up at a restaurant. And one of the first things that AJ asked Kyra was, okay, well, since I said what I said back at the ranch, what are your intentions? And she said, well, my intentions are definitely to move forward with what we have going on. But she also had a question for AJ, and she wanted to know, let me see what her question was. She said, she asked AJ, does he think he made the right decision? And he said, well, you know, I'm not gonna say whether or not I made the right decision, but it's more so, I'm not wording it exactly the correct way that he had it, but that's basically what he was saying. He's not focused on what did he do right. He's focused on not having any regrets. And so if he would have sent Kyra home from off the ranch, he knows that he would have regretted that. So, you know, he just kind of wrapped it up by saying that, you know, it's about me not having any regrets, even if the decision that I made was not going to give me the brightest light at the end of the tunnel. So, you know, that pretty much means whether you end up with me or whether you end up with Jason, I know that in my heart of hearts, I had to decide on you at that time, because I would have left with Alexis, but I would have still been wondering, what if with Kyra? So that's basically what AJ was saying. And so after AJ said all that, Kyra said that this has really opened up her eyes to understanding where AJ is in this process and how serious that he is about her. But all in that same breath, she still wants to know what's up with Jason. So y'all, we still in this, I like you, but I need to know what's up over here. So I don't know. I can't grasp Kyra's logic. I really can't. I don't understand Kyra's logic, but listen, honey, we damn near to the finale, so I guess I'm hoping at some point to really understand what she got going on, okay? Like, I really honestly am. So, yeah. Now we are back at the ladies' lounge. And Tommy just wants to know how all these individual dates went for the last time, cause it's the last time. And Amber says that Chris was definitely more intimate this time, but she definitely is feeling a way about him practicing semen retention. And Tommy said he's practicing what? She said semen retention. He's practicing semen retention. And she was like, I mean, it's basically abstinence. And he was like, oh, okay, well, I've definitely heard of abstinence, but I feel like that's just some shit he done made up off the top of his head, talking about some damn semen retention. But okay. So yeah, that's what Amber had to say. Vernisha says that her and Joelle talked about what happened at the ranch situation with the whole Kyra incident, and it made the both of them realize that they can overcome the small stuff. Okay, so that's summed up what Vernisha and y'all, I done scrolled up when I'm trying to scroll down. And y'all, then it got around to Liz. So, you know, Liz, of course, was smiling from ear to ear because the part that she wanted to share was about how Jason bought out the white rose. She explained to everybody what the white rose represented for Jason, and everybody thought that was just like the sweetest thing ever, and she was like, yes. And then she also said that, you know, Jason's mind had been made up a couple of weeks ago, so, you know, they were just both floating on cloud nine. And this sent Kyra into a chuckle that she just couldn't control. And the chuckle was so disrespectful that Tommy had to actually take his hand and do one of these numbers right here, because it's like, don't do that. Don't undermine or disrespect somebody's experience just because this was also somebody that you had a connection with. You know what I'm saying? You wait your turn and then say what you gotta say or feel however you gotta feel. Like, it was very disrespectful the way that she bust out laughing during Liz's story. I couldn't believe that Kyra was being that immature, but she was. But all in all, you know, while Kyra was doing all of that laughing or whatever, Liz held it together. She held it together because she paid it. When I tell you Liz paid it, she didn't even look in Kyra's direction. And I think that irritated Kyra even more so. But yeah. So yeah. In her confessional, Kyra says that everything that Liz is saying is very comical to her, and that was pretty much why she busted out laughing, because Jason is not about abstaining from sex until marriage. So, you know, she just feels like the whole relationship between Jason and Liz is a complete joke because of the morals and standards that Liz has. You know what I'm saying? I was just blown away when the way that Kyra was acting about Liz and Jason's connection. Like, it was very kindergartenish. It was very kindergartenish, and I just didn't see this from Kyra. So they get around to Kyra, and of course everybody's looking at her crazy at this point, because it's like, go ahead and tell us about your experience, girl, because you obviously feeling some type of way about Liz and Jason, but what did you have going on? So Kyra says that AJ respected the decision-making process that she has going on, and, you know, just pretty much saying that I have not put anything in ink. I still don't know if I want AJ or if I want Jason. So then Tommy asked the never-ending question, well, if you had to leave with one person right now, who would it be? And she said, I would go with AJ. And of course we know she all picked AJ because of literally what Liz just said. Okay, well, if Jason feeling all this type of way about Liz, then I'ma just pick AJ. That was pretty much where that went. So with Kyra picking AJ, Tommy says that left him in a decision where it was 4 solid couples. It was supposed to come down to 3 this particular episode, but because of the decision that Kyra made, that's 4 for 4. All 4 of these couples will be going into the finale. But before they ended up leaving the ladies' lounge, Kyra let everybody know that she has an attitude towards Jason because she's feeling played. She feels like the things that Jason was saying to her don't add up to the things that he's saying to Liz. And so Tommy says, well, if you feel that strongly about it, I think that you and Jason need to have a conversation. So Jason and Kyra end up having that conversation. They end up meeting up, and Kyra says that she just wanted to check in with him and to get some things straight. She repeats the conversation and everything that was said in the ladies' lounge to Jason, and his rebuttal was that he doesn't remember exactly the timeline of when things were said, but yeah, he definitely did tell Liz that at some point he had already just made his decision that she was his person. And he also apologized to Kyra for not expressing that to her. He was like, you know, that's my bad. I dropped the ball there. So he did apologize for that. But he confirmed that, you know, yeah, I did tell Liz that. Oh, Jason also said that the private conversation that him and Kyra had on the ranch, and where she was still so indecisive, it pretty much put the nail in the coffin for him. Because like he said back at the ranch, at this point, you should already know who you're feeling more so than the other. And he also said on top of that, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like a lot of times when we're together, it's just a lot of questions. He was like, I almost want to use the word interrogation, but I don't want to say interrogation. He was like, it's just a lot of questions versus just us spending that quality time together, that genuine time together, and actually just getting to know each other in that moment. And I completely understood what he was saying, because it even comes across that way on camera with anybody that Kyra's talking to. Because she's in the law field, I don't know if this is something that she does without realizing it. But yeah, Kyra, you do seem like you're just full of questions. So even though, like, you know, in your heart, you may feel like this is what you're doing to just genuinely ask the questions that you want to know, like you want to just come straight out and ask, but at the same time, it's like you're also not expressing any type of compassion or any type of emotion along with that, that will let the person know that this is not just me playing 21 questions with you. This is me asking you a question because I'm genuinely feeling you, and I want to, you know, I really want to get to know you. Like, that's not how it comes across at all. It really does come across as 21 questions. Like, you know, you might as well shine the light in their face and just let the questions go, because child, you be on it. I mean, your little nostrils be flaring up and everything when you talk. Like, you talk with a lot of passion and a lot, you know, it's sometimes with aggression. And I think that that's also the thing that Alexis was trying to point out. I feel like she was trying to say that, you know, she don't understand what is it that AJ sees in Kyra, because all they do is argue. Because all she wants to do is debate. So it's like, you know, what is it really there between them? So yeah, Kyra, that might be something that you want to look into and see if you're willing to change or wanting to change about, you know, about the dating process, because that can come across a little off-putting to people. So Jason says at this point he is getting annoyed because he says that she's interrogating him right in this very moment and she doesn't even realize it. So he was like, he kind of just cut the conversation off and was just like, look. Just let me know, why are we here? What is the purpose of this meeting? And she says that she feels like he didn't care about what she wanted, and it was just all about what he wanted. And he was like, he kind of balled his face up and clutched his pearls, and we was clutching our pearls at the same time, because I'm just like, Kyra, do you hear what's coming out of your mouth? Why would he care so much about what you want? And he's in this process just like you're in this process. So the whole purpose of this process is for you to find somebody that mutually feels the way that you feel. So it will never be a one-sided thing. And even outside of this show and outside of this process, I hope that that's not how you look for a man. I hope that that's not like something that sits high on your list that you're looking for out of a man, is for him to want to do everything for you and agree with everything that you want to do, and just it's all about Kyra. No, that's not what a successful relationship is about. And I would think that somebody of your caliber would know that. But like how that sat there and came out your mouth like that, it doesn't sound like you know any better. It just doesn't sound like you know any better. But yeah, girl, me and Jason was looking at you real fool, because if he gave you everything you wanted, that ultimately leaves him stressed out and unhappy. So why would he do that? Answer me that. I know you can't. It's okay. We're gonna move on. So Jason was like, okay, I see what you want. But he asked for one last time. He looked her dead square in the eyes and was like, listen, just tell me, what is it that you want from me? And she was like, you know what, Jason, at this point, I just want for us to remain friends. And he was like, okay, you know, I would love that. I would love for us to, you know, just remain friends. I'm absolutely okay with that. But then she says, but I just want to know, if things never went left between me and you, would you have picked me? And he got quiet, and it was out of eye contact again. And he said, no, I still would have picked Liz. That is who my heart spoke to. That is who I genuinely connected with. And that is who I got assurance from. So even if none of this never happened between me and you, it would have still been Liz. And in that instant, it let me know that the whole meetup with Jason had nothing to do with his decision. It had everything to do with Kyra wanting to knock Liz off of her high horse. Kyra was embarrassed when she heard everything, all the good things that Liz had to say about her and Jason's connection. And it made Kyra feel some type of way. So what she wanted to do was set it up in that meeting between her and Jason, where she could hear Jason say, well, you know, yeah, if things wouldn't have never went sour with us, of course I would have left with you, Kyra. That's what she wanted to be said on camera, so that when they get to the reunion, or so that when they get to the next ladies lounge, she could put that out there. But Jason didn't play into it, and I salute you, Jason, because you did not fall for it. I think you saw it just like I saw it. You knew exactly what Kyra was trying to do, and you ain't let her set you up like that. And I can appreciate that. I can definitely appreciate that. So Kyra, I just feel like, you know, in this instance, you took a L. You took a L, and it's okay. It's okay, because that's what this particular show is about. Somebody's got to take the L. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't have what they want. And you just ended up being one of those people that cannot have what they want. And you need to be okay with that. It's no need to hate on Jason. It's certainly no need to hate on Liz, because she's been paying you dust from day one. I don't know how many dates Jason took the both of y'all on, and Liz still held her own. She still, you know what I'm saying? Even when Jason's friends picked Kyra over Liz, Liz still didn't care nothing about that. Jason still didn't care nothing about that. Because like he said, at the end of the day, yeah, his friends do hold some type of weight, but they don't, that's not the final decision, as we can see. His friends don't hold nothing. So, Kyra, girl, you know, you're falling apart, sis, and I need you to get it back together. You know, we still got a couple of more episodes, so I need you to reel it back in. And it's okay for you to be hurt, because she did express that her feelings were hurt after this whole process between her and Jason had unfolded. And I get it. I completely get it. But that doesn't mean show your ass. That doesn't mean be vindictive towards another one of your castmates. Like, you just don't have to go about it the way that you're going about it. Like, in everything, still hold your head up. Still know that you're a beautiful black woman. And you already know it's hundreds and thousands of men out there waiting at this point to run into the one and only Kyra. So don't make yourself look some type of way that's gonna run these men off. You know what I'm saying? Because no tea, no shade, I just don't feel like Kyra is feeling AJ like that. So at this point, she can't have Jason, so she's only stuck with AJ. But I don't feel like she's really feeling AJ like that. So I just feel like it's a laundry list of men at this point out there waiting on you, girls. So don't make yourself look bad. You right here at the finish line. You can exit this show with grace and go out there and just have a ball. Hell, at this point, if you do right, you could actually have a spinoff, because so many of the men that were on this cast had your name in their mouth that you need to be talking to Tommy about a spinoff show, you know, for the love of Kyra. Because the man is loving you, girl. So don't be out here showing your ass when you don't have to. Like, that's all I'm saying. So the ending of this episode ends with all the couples going up to this little rooftop type of meeting. And Kyra says that at this point, looking at Liz and Jason together, she's still furious. She still has an attitude, and she's still feeling some type of way. Tommy arrives, and to get everything mixy and get the party started, he says that, you know, you four beautiful couples have made it to the end, and there's nothing to solidify a relationship more than meeting somebody's family. So So he wants all of them to meet each other's mothers, meet the mothers, meet the grandmothers, meet the fathers, meet the siblings. Like, he wants them to meet the close family. And because this is what's going to really tell the end all be all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how family members are. They're gonna kick it to you straight. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Me and my boo been together like 3 years and some change, but I actually just met his mother, like, I don't know, a couple of months ago. Like, and it was crazy because I didn't even know that I was going to meet her that day. But yeah, I ended up meeting his mother, and I was absolutely terrified, but she definitely welcomed me with open arms, and I was happy that it was done and over with. And yeah, everything went great. So, you know, our relationship didn't do anything but grow stronger, and it flourished more after that because he had already met my parents, and they, you know, they've already accepted him and welcomed him in with open arms. So it was my turn. So it's like, I do understand that that is a really, really big step for you guys, and especially for y'all being in such a short process and then have to, you know, to have to meet the parents. That's stressful. So I'm definitely, you know, got my fingers crossed for all of you couples next week, and we are ready to see how this thing goes, because it looks like some of these families are really coming down hard with these questions and really looking at some of these folks crazy. Like, homegirl, I don't know if you're ready for my son. Like, little bitch, I don't know if you got too much going on for my son, you know. And some of these men looking like, you know, you're not good enough for my daughter. So, you know, they're really going to give it to us next week. So I think that is definitely going to be review worthy. And again, I do apologize for not doing last week's review. So y'all work with me, please and thank you. Please and thank you. And we're going to see what goes down on next week's episode, the finale of Ready to Love. And I also have to put out my review for episode 1 of Love After Lockup. So don't forget to come back to my channel to check out Love After Lockup as well. And other than that, I want you guys to continue to enjoy your weekend. This is your girl P Hope, and I want you to be happy, be healthy, be safe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys.